The Painter and the Prince. A story of hidden strength.
Once, in a peaceful town, surrounded by quiet hills and whispering trees, there lived a cheerful young boy named Arav. He was once full of laughter and dreams. He would run through the fields, play with his friends until sunset, and often talk excitedly about the future. But one day, everything changed. Something invisible wrapped itself around Arav's heart. He became quiet, distant. His eyes lost their sparkle. He stopped playing, stopped smiling. Instead, he sat alone in dark corners, whispering things only he could hear. His parents were frightened. Friends asked, "What's wrong?" But Arav had no answer because he didn't understand it himself. Nothing made him happy anymore. He felt lost in a storm no one could see. One day, news spread through the town. A wise monk had arrived and was staying in a nearby forest monastery for a few days. People said he could see into people's hearts and heal what even doctors could not. Arav's father, desperate to help his son, gently held his hand and took him to see the monk. They walked quietly through the forest. Leaves crunched beneath their feet. Birds sang in the distance. At the monastery, they found the monk sitting beneath a tree, eyes closed, radiating peace. Arav sat silently next to him. Time passed, an hour, maybe more. Then, for the first time, Arav spoke. "I want to tell you what I feel," he said softly, "and ask something." The monk opened his eyes and smiled. "Speak, child." Arav hesitated, then said, "Why is it that some people rise after great failures while others stay broken? I worked hard for 2 years to achieve my dream, and I failed. Since then, I felt like a loser. Please, give me something, anything that will protect me from pain forever." The monk closed his eyes for a moment, then said, "I will not give you something to escape pain, but I will give you something far greater, a story." The portrait of the scarred king. Once, in a faraway land, there was a great king named Aryan. He was everything a king should be: tall, fearless, noble. His people adored him. His soldiers followed him with pride. His smile brought comfort. His presence brought strength. But one day, a powerful enemy invaded. The skies were filled with smoke. Arrows flew like angry birds. For 11 days, King Aryan fought at the front lines. He saved his kingdom, but paid a heavy price. He lost one of his legs. One eye was blinded by fire. A deep, disfiguring scar slashed across his face like lightning frozen in skin. After the war, silence filled the palace halls. The people still loved their king, but they no longer met his eyes. They whispered. They pitied him. One morning, Aryan walked through the royal gallery, gazing at the paintings of his ancestors, kings who looked like gods. Strong, handsome, untouchable. He stood before a blank canvas and whispered, "How will they remember me? As a hero or as a broken man?" The next day, he made an announcement. "I invite all artists in the kingdom to paint my portrait. 2 rules. Paint me exactly as I am, and let the painting inspire future generations." The artists were terrified. Some thought, if we show his scars, he'll be offended. Others thought, if we hide them, he'll see it as a lie. No one dared to try. Finally, the king grew angry. He pointed to a young, quiet artist standing in the back and said, "You will paint me. You have 5 days. Fail, All artists shall be punished." The court gasped. That night, the young artist didn't sleep. He lay on the cold marble floor of the palace, heart pounding. "Why me?" he whispered. But the next morning he made a decision. "I will sit in silence. I will not see the scars. I will see the man." For 2 days he sat still, studying the king from afar. Slowly, his fear dissolved. The king's scar no longer looked frightening. It looked earned. His blind eye didn't seem broken. It looked focused. His missing leg did not weaken him. It made him more balanced. Then the artist saw it. The king, not as damaged but as triumphant. On the final day, he painted what he saw in his heart. The court gathered. The painting was unveiled. A hush fell over the room. Even the wind outside seemed to stop. The king was shown riding a gallant horse, aiming his bow, one leg hidden behind the horse, one eye closed in fierce concentration. His face glowed with resolve, the scar gone, not because it was erased, but because it no longer mattered. What remained was strength, focus, and unshakable courage. Tears welled up in the king's eyes. "How did you see me like this?" he asked. The artist knelt and said, "Your Majesty, I was afraid like everyone else, but instead of painting your body, I painted your spirit. I stopped seeing your pain. I saw your power, and I painted that." The monk paused. Arav sat silently, moved. "Do you see?" the monk asked. Most people look at their problems and react with fear. They see only wounds, failures, heartbreak, rejections. And so they give up. The monk leaned closer. "But like the artist, you must learn the art of inner seeing. Sit with your pain. Watch it. Don't run. Don't judge. And eventually, you will stop seeing wounds. You will start seeing wisdom." Arav whispered, "This is exactly what I have been doing, seeing only the broken parts." The monk nodded. "Your life, like the king's face, has scars. But if you stay calm, if you observe yourself with a peaceful heart, you will begin to see your bravery hidden beneath the pain." He smiled. "Anyone can learn to draw lines and colors, but only a true artist learns to see beauty in suffering, light in darkness, and meaning in mistakes." He continued, "Every success you admire in the world, whether it's a warrior, an artist, a monk, was born from focus. You must protect your focus like treasure. Turn off the noise, quiet your mind, and look at life with a still heart." Then he added gently, "No video, no app, no news is more important than your own thoughts. Your focus is your future." Arav closed his eyes. For the first time in months, the storm inside began to calm. The monk stood and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Begin today. Sit in silence. Look at your life. See the hero within the wounds. You may not be able to erase your pain, but you can choose what story it tells." And so Arav began again. He was no longer just a boy who failed. He was a boy who learned to see like an artist. And from that day, his life slowly became a masterpiece.